And welcome to MiniGrinder Paints for Miniatures. Today we're going to be painting. Once I get used to there we go. This guy, you can't see him. There you go. My camera's auto zoom is shitty. So, but he is Norok. This is the Reaper Bones miniature. I've taken it. I've already worked on all the scenes on the miniature. An X-Acto knife. MiniGrinder Paints. Can you turn off that? we have with us this guy, Psycho. He's actually my camera's auto zoom. He's got to turn off that. So, Psycho. Norok. Psycho. It's the Reaper Bones miniature. There he is. This is crazy. He's not paying attention to me. Psycho.
Huh?
Can you turn that link off?
Hold on a minute here.
We're in a time loop here.
You're echoing.
Turn off that. We have with us this guy, Psycho. He's actually. It's still going. He's got to turn off.
What do you need me to shut off?
We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Now, 1 second, Psycho. I'm going to. He's not paying attention to this. Psycho.
What?
Can you turn that link off? Get it?
Hold on a minute here.
Where time becomes a loop. Where time becomes a loop. We have with us this guy. There we go. Oh, you know what? It wasn't on. He's got to turn off. That's funny.
What do you need?
Nothing. We're good. I'm an idiot. Once again. Hey, Psycho. Psycho. Earlier, we had volume issues, or like I couldn't hear him for whatever reason. But he could hear me, so it turned out to be my fault. But I was having him like check everything. Just now, that was my own link that was up on my own TV. So hopefully it'll come back. But that was Psycho. We played a game, first-person shooter on the PlayStation Network together. So, anyways, back to Norok here. So Norok. He is an Ettin. He's a Reaper Bones. This stuff is, I really like painting it. It makes it really cheap to be able to get some pretty nice pieces. So I also already adjusted any of the, you see it's a little bent still, but after a couple hot washes and cold washes, it's straightened out a little bit. So I used a washer for the base. It's about 1 3/4 and epoxy putty. So that's what I'm using for the base. So there you go. So I'm going to use some black. Psycho's back. Hey, it was my fault all along, Psycho.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder. I actually went to the YouTube and caught the live podcast and heard you say it was your fault.
Oh, nice.
Like, oh, okay, I'll come back now.
It's good that you were observant enough to realize that I was an idiot.
I jumped over there real quick. I was like, all right, I'll see what's going on.
That's just black. I'm going to be using a lot of it, but I like to water down my pure black whenever I come up with my base coat there with whatever sort of color scheme I'm going to have with the miniature. So this will basically make it really dark.
It did look pretty good on the live cast.
Oh, good. Let's make a pretty dark base coat right here. Psycho, have you ever painted a miniature?
No, I haven't. Actually, I'm not a very good artist. I've
Yeah.
tried the, models, planes and cars, and never any good. I guess I wasn't very good at painting inside the lines and stuff.
There's no lines on these, so
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta see my father-in-law's bathroom. It's not much better either. Doesn't matter how big or small the project is. Now, see if you were making that all black. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, this is actually like a
Base coat.
yeah, it's like a base coat, and it's just real. I have to you put it on thick because there's a lot of little holes, and then you use like the brush to sort of like move it around.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, with
yeah.
the amount of detail that's in those, I imagine you gotta get it in there pretty good.
You'd be surprised. I mean, you don't have to be too precise. It's all about layering and giving all the secrets away. It's all about layering.
All your secrets. See, my secret would have been take it where you're holding it at the base and dip it in the jar. Let all the excess drip off.
Yeah. Yeah, I just basically this is how I start with all of them. I just get that good base coat down. Now with the computer miniatures, I just use a dark primer. I always like dark primers better than white primers. Um, Only because like the dark, it's better to have like the crevices and the nooks and crannies be dark because they would be more likely to be shaded. You know?
Now, what is that made out of? Is that like ceramic
I don't know exactly what this stuff is made out of. I'm gonna get flame color,
or
but it's like some kind of plastic resin of some sort.
oh,
Not
okay.
resin. It's like I don't know what it is, but it works. It works pretty good, and you can paint right onto it. But you should
Wait,
put like a base coat down before you paint on.
well, that's what you were talking about the pewter ones. And I noticed that one was,
Oh, you
the
definitely need
kind
to.
of the white color there. So,
Yeah. So this is just I'm just using black and muddy brown mixed, black and muddy brown Reaper paints mixed up there. It looks dark right here. I have the exposure turned down a little on this um, because that way it's not too shiny.
it almost looks black.
Yeah, on this screen it would. I was turn the exposure off and you can see. Pretty boring. I thought you were gonna get some music going for it.
Well, I did, and then the echoing thing going on, and
All right, I guess I put some music on.
well, I'll see what I got going here now.
If YouTube plays it, then we can play it, right?
Um,
Is that how it works? We're using YouTube during our live stream YouTube tag. You know, I've actually been listening to a lot of David Bowie.
well, ever since they threw the song on for that one commercial they've been playing, I've had it for a while, so it's been kind of a song that's been stuck in my head lately.
I've been going through the entire discography because I've never done that before with Bowie. So I'm just YouTubing the entire discography. And listening to each one in order of when it came out. Man, he was doing the '80s in like 1975.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
You see, the way makeup and the hair and stuff, And
He's
I even got Major Tom on here too.
yeah.
I don't know how loud that is, really.
It might actually be better. It might sound better coming through mine.
If you want, go ahead. I'll shut mine off.
Oh, shut up.
Hey.
Yeah, it'll come out on my computer and it's right by the.
Yeah, mine's sitting across the living room, so. Plus, I don't have my little remote for the computer. I don't know where it's at. It's usually magnetized on the side, and I don't know if one of the cats knocked it off or my old lady moved it.
It's gone.
Dang women. Always moving things, you know.
I don't want to go back to David Bowie. I didn't ask for yes.
Or I can,
Hey, let me know if you can hear this okay.
it's sounding pretty good.
I have a pretty decent mic over here, so we'll probably transmit a little better. How's it sound?
I don't know, it stopped. There we go. Well.
How does my voice, does it model my voice?
No, it's sounding alright so far. Once it gets going a little more here, I can tell.
You're all loud and shit. I guess we can say shit.
What happened? Oh.
Did it get all loud?
It's like it's kind of going up and down.
What's going on? Oh.
The music.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's like it's cutting in and out or something.
Probably not okay.
Well, you're not okay, but...
I just don't want it to be too loud.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot I do have music stations on the cable box here.
Oh, yeah. But I never watched other people paint miniatures. I have no idea how they do it.
You might want to turn the music down a little.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to hear you.
And the proper test then.
There you go, that's a little better.
So, I'm probably going to get all kinds of criticisms about how I paint. But my technique is fast. To do this guy, it'll probably take me about 3 hours to finish him. From start to finish, it'll take me about 3 or 4 hours maybe. If it takes me 4 hours, it's because I'm really enjoying painting them. And some might say, well, it's probably going to look like crap if it takes you, if it takes you only that long. But, it may pleasantly surprise.
The music's interfering a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably because it's in between. It's in between me and the mic.
Yeah, because you're kind of playing and it's kind of cutting you out a little bit.
This is sort of I've been wanting to do one of these painting videos, just to do it for a while. Couldn't hurt, I mean, I'm going to be painting this stuff anyway, so I might as well just. What I have to do is just, let the internet work. I wish we had a audience.
A what?
An audience. I feel lonely. I guess you're gonna have to be my audience. Like
Nah, I'm just the peanut gallery.
Yeah. When when I first started painting miniatures, um, people would ask me, "Oh man, that must have taken you all week," or like, "Yeah, it must have taken you weeks." Like, do people really paint that slow?
Well, maybe people don't have the time to sit down like you do for 3 hours. And
I don't understand how I could do it color-wise. Little here, little there. I would never finish anything. I was trying to pick which thread. I actually put this in the Reaper forum threads, the Reaper miniatures, as the miniatures that I'm using to paint. And um, it's in the work in progress section. So it's literally in work in progress. You got to be careful when you're layering stuff this thick. You're on getting all the nooks and crannies, but you got to be careful you don't create like little bubbles that once it dries they'll pop, and then there'll still be like white underneath of them, and then you gotta be careful with that.
well, that's what. Do you have to let it dry in between, like your next color that you're gonna
It's
paint?
dry right now. Like the part that I just like, this part's wet right here, but this over here is dry. And that's what I'll do is if I need to let something dry, I'll just paint a different part, work on a different section.
Yeah. So it dries fairly quick then, huh?
Yeah, that's the other thing is a lot of people, what they do is they end up using like way too much paint. Like the amount of paint that I'm putting on this right now is pretty ludicrous. But that's just because it's a base, coat.
So you're saying my dipping method would not work very good.
Actually, it would, but you got to be careful. If all that stuff would
All the excess paint.
and then some crannies and stuff, but then it might actually destroy a lot of that detail.
Yeah, because you have too much on there.
Yeah. You don't want to destroy the detail because that's actually use the detail to paint with. So like check it out. Like if I just do this, now imagine if the base coat was already down and I did that with a lighter shade.
Yeah.
You'd have instant texture. Now I didn't have to individually paint each one of those little things. That's what that is called, dry brushing or something like that. I don't know. Again, I'll probably get all kinds of flack for not using proper terminology. Terminology likes to make people sound. I've learned. That's what I learned from college. Is that the different disciplines, to sound smart, they like to come up with definitions and terminology.
So you didn't learn how to drink from college or anything?
Yeah. No. I learned mathematics in college.
Didn't learn how to play beer pong or anything in college?
Mathematics and code.
That's right, you're the mathematics, you just don't know your locations very well.
Geography. I'm okay with geography. What do you mean my locations? What are you trying to say?
What were we talking about the one day? You had something mixed up.
We have a problem. I always have a problem with minus signs. Everything gets all mixed up. The base code is always like the longest sort of process. No gratification. All you're doing is just like changing the color of it. It's so boring. When I do these, I'll probably already have a base coat down, so you don't have to watch me just paint one color on. But he's almost done. Almost done. I'm almost out of painting. I have to mix them more. It looks like it sucks.
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess you could always start with, cut it, like you're saying. Well, if you're doing it live, though, because you're probably going to want people to go on see what the figurine actually looks like. I mean, now it just looks like some black thing.
Yeah, I can actually go back and edit the video if it's less than 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So I was showing Psycho before, and I'll show everybody else. This is my palette.
Barbecue on the other side.
Yeah. That's right. It's a piece of barbecue seasoning kit box. Yeah. And all else fails, just lather it on.
I'll tell you, there's like a lot of hip hop channels on this cable station for music.
Oh yeah, that don't surprise me. Everything's hip hop anymore.
Pop hits, love songs.
That's what I call it. Hip hop. And then they have like
You got throwback jams,
country pop. Country doesn't
hip hop classic, rap, hip hop R&B.
Everything which is R&B or hip hop or some form of it.
Play some metal.
Oh, you got some Ronnie James Dio? You didn't know that.
I don't know. Oh, you do? Here's some Cannibal Corpse.
That kind of metal.
Do you understand any of that? Wow. I actually have a friend that listens to that too.
What's that?
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the one kid in high school who had a Cannibal Corpse shirt. He wore it like 4 days out of the week.
Wasn't you? I was surprised you listened to Ministry.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I'm a product of the 90s. I mean, you know.
It just kind of surprised me.
So the next stage, what I'm going to do is actually just dry brush the whole thing, and then it'll get all that detail to pop out. And then that's sort of like, I use that as my primer. It's nicer than a flat primer, because then all those high points on the piece are then primered with a slightly lighter shade, and I think that helps that out.
Now, are you going to actually paint that base you're holding on to also?
I'll paint the base too. The base is actually pretty easy. The base doesn't take long. Actually, with the leftover paint, let me make sure.
I noticed on that one piece, I thought it had like grass around its feet or something. Now, was that already on there?
Yeah, that stuff's blocked or whatever. There, here.
Oh, okay.
I bought that thing like years ago. You don't use it very much.
Looks like dried up catnip. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Kind of lagged there a little bit.
Yeah, I have my son probably trying to not clean his room. I'm trying to use it. So this is what I do now. This is my day job, basically. Put these up on eBay. Actually, I'm gonna put this one up on eBay. I'll probably put them up for about thinking around 45. We'll explore than that more. Some people might say, really? Money, and I tell you what, I would not. I would also not spend that much money on a little figurine, but I'm not. I'm not painting it for people like me. You know.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
you
sell
are
them.
the creator.
Yeah, I sell them for what I believe. What I want to see them go away for. You know, I mean, I like all my miniatures that I paint, but and sometimes it's sad to see them go. I don't have them too often. Basically, what I'm doing is trying to get a floating set going where my miniatures I just always have it up on eBay, and then as people buy them, I'll just repaint them. I paint them so fast, anyways. So this thing's pretty much base coated now. I even put some paint down on. Oh, well, now we're gonna get.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Queen.
Oh, you don't say. I'm not gonna use the.
So did you actually get the camera to hang above you?
No, it's not hanging. It's like
Well, I know you were putting the nail in the whatever else up.
yeah, it was the cord that I wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the basement right now too.
Well, I know that.
Um, I mean, well, I guess you're the only person watching it. You know? Is this
Because you actually got a pretty good view going on here, I think now.
oh my god! I just thought of my. Oh, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's taking like 20 minutes already. Just yeah, your music's breaking up on your side.
I turned it down to a little bit.
Yeah, it'll probably be.
Is that better?
Eh, probably won't be able to do music. Not working. This guy's still a little wet, but I'm gonna go for the dry spots and lay down the dry brush there. And for the dry brush, I just use the again the muddy brown, and I put it right on top of my where I was doing the dark base coat. It's all about getting the right consistency on the brush. After this, I usually do the skin. I like doing skin next. It feels like I've done something.
Hey, I'm back again.
Come back. It was quiet. It was nice.
Oh. No, it kicked me out again. I wonder if 'Cause I don't have it downloaded, maybe, or something.
Socket. So if you stumbled upon this, I also do a live stream tabletop session where we are basically beta testing the book that we're trying to publish, rule set, called Valentia RPG. I'll put a link in the description whenever I get around to it.
Yeah, this cable station that I got here with Rockets, it's got a detox and treatment helpline. Attention, got a drug or alcohol problem? I just looked over, it throws up a bunch of like facts about the bands and stuff that come on. I was just having to look up and it said that.
So we got some pretty important decisions to make here. Other
Right.
than one, don't do drugs.
Put red on it.
Do we want these guys to have different color hair? Like one guy be a dumb redhead, and then, by the way, I believe I'm a dumb redhead. Actually.
Well, are you the dumb redhead? Is that what you're trying to say? You should have them two different hair colors, because I would say they're two different personalities. They have two different clubs.
Yeah, they do have two different clubs, completely different personality. I'm gonna put that exposure back to 5, I think.
The IRS wants you. Your tax problems will never go away. Throwing on some weird commercials on this thing. Yeah, see, I don't know if you changed the lighting or if it, okay, that it dried. I was going to say it looks a little more of a brownish color now than it really does black. To me, at least.
Yeah, I did that so because it was black, it's not picking up the light. When it was white, it was picking up so much of the light.
Mm.
See how precise I'm being? Being super, super precise.
Are you sure?
I try to understand why people would spend money for things like this. Just except for the people, if you're watching this currently, because I've linked it in the post.
Yeah, you're.
I'm serious. I mean, well, there's some people that just don't have the time to do it or whatever.
Well, like I said, I'm not that talented at painting it, so.
Some people don't find themselves to be talented or whatever, like yourself. So there's always going to be a market for it, so I'm not worried. It's not really my day job. This is what I do. I'm the housewife, so.
I mean, my grandma, she used to, do all the ceramic stuff too, as far as like painting them.
Did she sell on eBay as well?
I don't think eBay was around when she was still alive.
I noticed sometimes you'll see a little white part where you've missed a spot. And they always show up when you least expect it. And this time, it is, when I rotate it, right there. I don't know if you...
Right under his armpit.
It's like right. See, this is how hard it is to paint, because it's like you never see it because the shoulder's in the way when you're looking at it. It's actually back.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Ah, yes, on the club.
After, so we'll just go ahead and fill that in. That's one thing I like about the Bones miniatures, is that you can twist them like this, and they always go back into their other shape. Now that's one of the bad parts about them too, to like get them to be like this. See this thing slowly. Hopefully.
It's almost 2 o'clock. Okay. Actually, I gotta get going here because we gotta go see the father-in-law here at the hospital. So.
Well, good luck. Have fun.
Oh yeah, it's fun sitting in the hospitals.
Yeah, I know. My dad was in the hospital there for a while, and
Yeah.
it was pain in the ass just sitting around waiting for doctors and shit like that.
I know, because they're never there when you want them to be, and then when you leave, that's when they show up.
Right. Well, have fun.
Oh yeah, that'll be lots of fun.
Thanks for
Probably be there for an hour or so. Maybe 2.
If you happen to be watching from the Reaper forums, and you would like to join me and talk about Reaper miniatures while I paint Reaper miniatures, um, go ahead and comment on the forums, and I'll see it. And you, Psycho, I'll see you later.
All right, you have fun.
Yep, bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Now we can talk about them. I forget what I put this. The only thing that sucks about doing this is not being able to listen to music while I think. All right. The other thing you could do is the eyes. The eyes are usually these are going to be a pain in the butt. That's what these are going to be. So you got such little dinky eyes. We'll probably end up not putting pupils in these because they're so small. Some people are like, "Oh, I can't believe this guy's not a. He hates miniatures. He won't put eyes in it." Now these eyes are like super tiny. There's just not enough room. But I can hit him right now. Skin. Yeah, go ahead and message me on the Reaper message boards if you would like to join me in the Google Hangout space while I paint this miniature. I'd be more than happy to meet some new nerds over the interwebs. I've been doing that for years, so. So many damn windows. I need like multiple monitors. I really nerd mad myself out here. All right, what did I say we would do? I could do like yellow eyes, but these are beast-like. Just a two-headed giant. It's just an Ettin, man. Now, I try to be precise with these, but sometimes I just give up and I'll put the dot down, and then I'll just go around it or something else. Oh my god, I can't even see there. Okay. Can't be too careful here. See, I already screwed it up. And once you do that, you might as well just lay it down. Just lay it down. Okay. So that looks horrible currently. That's okay because we're just going to go over it and outline the eyes, basically. But not with this. And it's just straight black on the eyes. Don't need very much. Dry off my brush. I do need a new one. It's just starting to wear on me. I usually get about a handful of models, more than a handful of models. And small. I mean, there's like pinpoints. There's the other all head, no eyes. Let's get the shot. Nope. And this one I can't even see where the eye is. I think that's it. I gotta get one of the mirrors or a magnifying glass. I don't know what it's called. My name's David. I'm a fan of the sciences. Hmm. Alright, sometimes it's hard to remember that I'm under a camera. Hmm. I'm going to just use this leftover black for the inside of the mouth. It's better to not have that be brown. The teeth can stay brown. It's just so small. His eyes. And they're like really in there. So you can probably barely see it at this point. At one point, I'm going to I'll change the zoom on the camera so you can actually see it close up. I could probably just do that. Moment. There's little pinpoints. Barely see. Oh. I'm trying to get this guy in a little better. Sometimes you just gotta do it again. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Oh, my one fan is here. Come on down.
I didn't clean my room.
I know you didn't clean your room.
It just...
You just didn't want to clean your room. Don't sit on that. Because I'm recording this right now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Oh.
I just... Like, just... done cleaning.
Yeah?
Not one.
Now we're going to pick a skin tone. And I think I got the idea. I'm using the tan leather.
But I still... I just don't want to... do...
I know
class.
I know you don't want to.
I do.
Well, I'll let you head back upstairs. And no tablet until you clean the room.
Well, I just... Just...
No, you don't need very much. You just want to basically. This you can just That's down in a nice good spot. Watch those muscles pop out. Look at them pop. And I don't worry about being too precise here around the bends. And move the brush again. Change on it. Probably okay that this have a dark brown and its nooks. I'll probably give it a kind of a rusty look. I'm just hitting it with a bit of harder tan leather right here. And first, you just do a light dry brushing. I want to go back over and hit it with the highlight. In this case, I'm just highlighting it with the tan leather again. Just much stronger. That's good. With 4 fingers on it, huh? There's some other ones that I'm going to be painting coming up here. I'm sorry for the long bits of silence. Other projects that I'm going to be painting here. I have Nethermaw, the Undying, the Reaper Bones. I have the other ogres, Ogre Chieftain, and I've already sold one of these guys. I got this is Kagunk, the other Ogre Chieftain. He's a lot of fun. He's got that big shield with the head on it. For their skin was pretty complex actually, because it had the dark base coat like this first, um, and then I actually I used slate blue on top of that, or whatever slate color, um, and then on top of that I hit it with like I believe the tan leather also, and it had such an awesome tone to it. Um, I believe I mixed the slate with like a gray to make it a little bit less bluish, but it turned out just exactly, you know, how I hoped it would. It was one of those just lucky bits. I don't have any art credentials. I've been doing art all my life, pretty much, though. I've been painting for these things for about 20 years, but I haven't Haven't got any credentials. Don't have any credentials to paint though. Just need the right amount of paint on the brush. That's all you need. I'm not being very precise with it. It picks up its own. Um, the modeler did all the hard work. He made it so all that would get picked up. All that detail would, you know? I have to thank him for it because I'm not the one who did all the detailing. So I don't even worry about going over the eyes with this stuff because the eyes are so deep flat. I need some more tan water there. Too crazy. Hit the back the second coat of this. Sometimes I just want to get right in there and start doing all the fun bits, you know. When you dry brush properly, even the veins pick up. Now you might not be able to see that on the other side. As I do more of these, I'll get better at the production side of things, and we'll get better cameras and stuff. I need to do that anyways for the live stream. Which has been a lot of fun. I've never done all the scenic stuff when it comes to tabletop gaming, and I'm finding scenic stuff to be quite fun. Last week I made some trees for the first time. They turned out pretty well, actually. Here's one of them. Pretty nice looking tree. Again, washer base, box putty, and then the stuff is that go on a train hobby shop and you'll find a bag of that. And then the trunk is just a bit of my tree outside. So for my dry brushing, I like to use a kind of a short brush. Once I figure out the -1, see it's not very long. Yeah, the autofocus trying to do its job. Oh shit. That happens, it's no big deal. Although it did get into the damn eye. That sucks. If it happens and you don't pay attention, I'll be back in that eye. Fix that. Be careful. Coming. So this will probably take longer than 3 hours. You're probably thinking, oh my god, it's already been an hour and you're barely even done. Well, actually, This goes pretty quick. It goes actually really quick. That's what a lot of people do when they paint. They just load it up. Not really a productive way. I'm just gonna hit the sorry. It's hard for me to see sometimes. You have to be careful. Sometimes you'll actually strip off the base coat off the bones miniatures during this process. You end up doing that with the not the brush part of the brush, but the stick part of it. Get too close and it'll just wipe it right off. I should be able to finish this with this session. I hope. Of course, there could be anything that comes up, in which case I'll just I'll post it in the same forum when I do it. And through the tan leather. I like using tan leather for some of the giants in their skin. I don't know why. I almost went with a bone for the skin. Maybe that's the other side of the equation, Would have been interesting. I'm probably still going to hit this with some kind of highlight. I just don't know what. Yeah, maybe I'll use the bone. That'd be interesting. The first layer is never as thick as what it's never going to be as bright. It's just because a lot of the color underneath fades through. You don't have to use, you you don't have to use the shadow to get the shadow effect. You can, but there's other shadow effects. They have the different paints. They have the different. This does shadow, and this is skin, and this is this kind of skin shadow. And then you can do that kind of stuff too. But you can just use some black or some white or whatever, depending. Ramp it up, ramp it down. Don't be afraid to mix. Never be afraid to mix. I'm getting there. I wish she's a better whistler. My son can. He lost his 2 front teeth and he can whistle just fine. They haven't grown in yet. Like, you know, waiting for me. Wake up one morning, listen. I called the dentist. He said, "No, it's fine. Sometimes it takes a while." I guess it's fine. I found another white spot. I'll have to take care of that. He's almost done with this sort of skin. Yeah, it goes pretty quick. Too much. Sometimes after I finish the figure, I think it's all done, have it sealed and everything, and then I'm like, oh, I could just throw in all that right there. And I do. I don't care if it's sealed. Actually, I seal throughout the process. I seal all the time. Just use a flat sealer. Yeah, okay, that's fine. He really doesn't want to clean his room. I'm moving around one room into a different room. And he just doesn't want to clean it. I'll have to go up there and clean it with him. Might actually put some brown on the bottom so it looks like he's got the dirty feet. He can't, I don't know if you can see it right now, but he's got some fishes hanging on his side right here. That should be fun to paint. I don't have any idea how I'm going to paint some fish. Fish things. Picture. Clear that. I believe that's all the skin. Nice. Okay. Yes, it is. I think that's it. Actually, whoa, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Give it a quick second. can see. Detail or not. This thing is a 720p camera, but it just doesn't perform very well sometimes. When it's all done, I'll put it in a nice focus and get a nice close up. Oh yes. Oh, paintbrush. Okay. So, what kind of skin do you think that might? I ask you as if you're going to answer me. Let's see if anybody posted on the forums. No. Nobody cares. I don't blame you. I don't care. But like I said, it's free. I don't have to do anything extra really to do this. So I am gonna do it. I'm gonna be painting this stuff anyways. Like this. Gotta get those before nip those in the bud before we get too far along. If you paint it up in layers, you know. It's the bottom layer. Know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have this problem if I could just wait in between my base coat so I could see all the little holes opening up. But I don't. That's okay. No biggie. Right here you can see the white starting to come out from the bones. You do not hit it with some sealant occasionally. You're going to be fighting this the whole way. Yeah. Well, I think before doing that, we're going to try highlighting the skin. And if the aged bone is too light, then we will cut it with the tan leather. So for this, you really want an extremely dry brush. And you want to make sure you have just the right amount. I spend more time getting the amount of paint on a brush correct than I do actually paint. That's really changed the whole color of it. It's really nice that way. I like that. It's a very good the skin is actually multiple layers of color. So you have the base, the um, dark brown. Then we had a highlight on top of that with muddy brown. And on top of that, we did tanned leather. And then on top of that, we're doing light dry brushing with aged bone. Once once the skin's done, this guy's not far from being done actually. Yeah, the clubs are easy. I usually save weapons for last, typically. Weapons and base for last. Oh shit, sorry. Oh, excuse my language. You want to believe how hard it is to get a good view that we can both share together. Both you and I. Sharing is caring. Nice. It's good. It's really good. And leather, aged bone is highlight. Definitely doable. Definitely. I'd do it. I'd do it. I'm sorry, man. Probably this guy. This is why I always end up gravitating. Yeah, I'll worry about those eyes later. Actually, sometimes they're easier to see after you do everything else. For some reason. That's cool. I'm going to go back through and do a stronger hit on a lot of the big spots. Like the H just to really get it. Pop right out of there. Well, looking good on my side. So let's tackle the faces. I don't know what to do for gums. We usually have a problem with gums. Maybe I can dot a little bit around that H1. Get nice and light on there. My beard occasionally. With a giant beard. That's what I do sometimes. Oh, this guy is all over it. I'm just going to basically try and brush, even if I have the teeth out. Because the teeth are going to be my next layer. No, I'll actually reinforce the teeth with black. Like that. No, like that. No, I'm actually almost on pure black. I ordered some more weeks ago, knowing that that was going to be the case. Always have extra black going around. You don't know when you're going to need it. I'm going to go ahead and try to. These teeth out. Not really. These guys. One layer in like this. I'll often go back and hit something again with a black or dark color just to get that background color in there, you know, back in there. The little stuff, it doesn't take long to do that with. That's why I usually just blast them in the beginning and then do a lot of dry brushing right over a lot of the details, but then I go back in and hit it with that. Launch and pop. We're going to go ahead and hit that, these teeth with some H-bone. No dry brushing here. Louie over here. Now he doesn't have teeth model, but I went ahead and gave him 2 big buck teeth. In situations like that where that upper plate, you can't see it right now, but was just basically one flat piece. I went in and just, I only had to paint some of it, just because it's there doesn't mean I need to paint it exactly like, you know, it looks cool that way anyways. Really nice. This guy just has a mouthful of teeth. Like the Baraka, or whatever. Little tooth. Oh yeah. Now some of these you can just put a dry brush, but some of them are dangerously close. He's really starting to look cool now. Yeah, that's pretty much the face is done. Probably end up hitting that eye with a little bit of a dark wash. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to cover up my boo-boo earlier. Just basically dotting the eye cavities with a little bit of dark wash. Fill in that area, that his face. It's got some nice details on them. I just, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'll make sure they don't fly off his face. So I like to build up my layer of. So let's go ahead and give you a preview now of what this guy really looks like. Let me. Hold up there. Good. Actually, I wish that's what it looked like down here, but it doesn't, for whatever reason. Maybe if I just zoom it in there. Maybe that's better. Problem is the thing is really in the way here. Okay, so let's figure out what we're gonna do. Go ahead and refer. What? I'm doing here, and I'm just basically going through and hitting with very quick dark washes to get the different parts to sort of pop out, especially those parts that line the skin. I'm not trying to become a YouTube sensation or anything. I'm just trying to maximize my daily life. There's a lot of stuff that I do. I like to, I have some talent with, and I just like to not necessarily capitalize on it, but I'd much rather be doing this than say doing telephone survey calls. Something like that. Which that's one of the other little jobs I was doing. Yeah, I got a degree in applied mathematics, but you just have to have one person home during the normal hours at the day. I don't think about that. I don't really have kids, but I understand how people have uh, situations where like, my parents go out and work, and it's super hard. I mean, It'll be able to afford daycare and all that other stuff. I just, I'm the daycare. Well, top of that, I'm do what I can. Some of these shaded areas just need a little bit more accent just to get them say hi. So I'm thinking we make these guys look. I think black hair is not going to have anything. It's hard to make all the details stand out in black hair. So I'm putting black on. No, there's other things that we can do. Actually, I'm just putting the base color down. Black, black, black. I'm thinking I'm making like a salt and pepper kind of, not a band. But the salt and pepper kind of hair, maybe. And make them, black and white, stringy. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. It just looks like it's possible with the texture, the beard and the mohawks. Or the mohawk. And the other guy doesn't have that much hair. The other thing is it would let me do, if I wanted to add body hair, it would let me be able to use black to do that. Is always what you're going to want to go with to show up very easy. It was very kind like that. Oh man, I gotta do stars. These guys gotta be black. Otherwise, they will not stand out very well. Especially inside the eye sockets. That's gotta be. I should have some color differential along here too. I'm gonna go ahead and put some black in to create that look. Now I am gonna go in and hit the fur. See, a lot of people they do brown furs. I think I might actually do a gray fur on this. Maybe this is a dire wolf fur or something. Who knows? But everybody was like brown fur. What about black fur? You can do other cool stuff with black fur too. Make it straight here. You could do black fur, like a black bear fur or something like that, but black bear are that big, well, maybe they are. And, I wonder if I can get this thing. Oh, oh yeah. That's much better. Nice. Almost nice. Okay. again, I could really just use the aged bone again, and maybe highlight it with white afterwards. I find that the less paints, different kinds of paints that you use in a piece, the more consistent it tends to look with itself. And sometimes that's pleasing to the eye more so than anything else. Right. Highlighted. Right. Then what we can do is go in with white. It's Ettin. It's an old Ettin. Let's see it. And a happy little old Ettin. So what are we up to now? How long have we been broadcasting? About 2 hours. He's mostly done. Pretty awesome, actually. I think actually I'm going to have a sharpness thing down. He's looking pretty nasty. So let's start talking about all this other stuff we gotta do. Let's get out some earth brown. And now, you know what? I already have some muddy brown down. I'm gonna go ahead and hit all of his wrappings with the muddy brown. The muddy brown has a slightly more orangish color. That'd be a good base color to work with here for the wrappings. And then what we'll do Let's pick a color to highlight those wrappings. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm going to say H bone again. I'm not. Most likely. And you can get the H bone to look sort of like a khaki also. It's nice. Lastly, no, I mean there's already a bunch of color on these rags that are tied around his legs. You know, they got the different browns and whatnot, but um, just adding a little bit more color texture right there. More distinguishing color. Distinguish it from the dark brown. It's like all over the place. And there we go. And we're going all over the place. And hell, we might actually do the leather this way also. So let's go ahead and do the leather. At least up until we curve the overshoot a bit. I'm not going to use for the rope though. We'll be using tan leather for the rope. I already have a bunch down there. I wasted tan leather. But I have to apologize for two things. My sausage finger. You're just going to have to get used to those. And my breathing. You're just going to have to get used to that also. Alright. So, most likely I'm just going to use the leather to highlight the leather. Convenient, I know. But I need my dry brushing brush, which is not that one. One. But this. Okay, just keep trying, son. There we go. So figure out. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and just highlight the rest of those wrappings. Here. Careful. I'm noticing that the hand is not sticking out as well as I had hoped. And those rags, because of the skin, its base is tan colored. This is kind of a nice subtle difference, but it's not what I was expecting. It can still work. We can do this. while I'm out and about, highlighting that, I'm going to really means I need some dark washes around those areas. Ooh. I want to go with the bear, or I want to go with the brown. I think I'm going to go with brown this time. I'll go with earth brown for the furs. Nice bright earthy. Nice bright brown. Really good. Really help the fur stand out here. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to have to schedule in some breaks in the future. I'm ready for a break. Usually I do sit down and do most of these things all in one go, but I'm sort of forced to just continue instead of like getting up and walking around and check on things upstairs or whatever in between. And I'll figure like this one actually take me start to finish 3 or 4 hours, but it actually takes me the course of the day to do it, just because of all the other stuff that I normally do with it, And that popped quite a bit. I think it pops more. If you guessed it, some H-bound. I'm mixing it with the earth brown. Nice. Okay. Oh wow. I wrote all the way in the crevice of the map. There we go. Careful. Oh. Well, while the muddy brown's out, go ahead and get the clubs wooded. Just a little bit of paint. The features that you really like about the plans, being able to bend the piece readily while I work on it. I'm not worried too much about hurting the piece. That's like the Home Earth Brown there. Oh, messy. The only thing that I'm really missing is the metal bits, the fish, the skulls. Oh, they're over here. This pig. I'm just gonna need some more polish to it. You know what I should hit the skulls with, right? Yeah, yeah. A little bit of aged bone, maybe. Yeah, he's looking pretty terrifying now. Yes. I got a bunch of different paints, but I don't like using a lot of different paints on one piece. What you doing, kid?
I asked him. Well, I think
Watch people with this.
one time he today I thought it was going to be a little quick. So
Ethan, is your room clean?
my old one, I know.
Sorry, bud.
I just
Well,
don't know how to clean up.
Get off of me. Thank you.
Daddy, I don't know how to clean up.
You better learn. Go on. Alright. Muddy brown and the leather together makes it look really kind of dirty.
It's just really hard to run too.
Yeah.
And I just need some help.
I'll help you.
You will help me?
Yes. When I'm done with this. But you have to go show me that you've done some work. So go start working on it. Okay? I'm almost done here. I'll be done here in another 30 minutes or so.
Well, I won't be lost in my bedroom now while I'm but I'll
Just do your best, son.
just
He's like, why don't we just have the extra room as a toy room for his toys? And I said, you have too many toys that you don't play with. He only plays with one toy these days. It's the infamous tablet that Santa Claus got. Mm. Go. Oh, it's dark enough. A little bit of that painted leather got on my brush from doing the inside part, and it highlighted the mark, so I'm going to go ahead and just go with it. You know, I do a lot of mixing around the piece also. go with the most natural looking. There's a bunch of options. I'm going to go with the most natural looking one. Take pride in the fact that I paint something I want it to look like it would in real life. I'll go for that. Not that there's these in real life, but I don't think it would be purple with pink bunny hide from the Easter Bunny. People get pretty wild ideas with what they think should be on there. I'll just try to make it look as plain and ordinary as possible. It ends up looking, I think, better that way. Another one I'm going to be doing is the giant skeleton. This dude, he is just totally crushed the Ettin in comparison. Just so big. We'll be doing him at some point. Nether Mall is this guy. Doing him. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll be live streaming that. Might take all week. No, a dragon Nether Mall should probably take me about 8 to 10 hours. I would suspect to paint him. If you don't believe me, I will post it. It doesn't take me to paint these. I don't know where most of you guys spend all your time doing when you're painting, but I don't spend weeks painting one thing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit the skulls with the age gun. No offense, if you want to take that long painting, by all means, it's your own. But that's a lot of time for me to. That would definitely not be profitable. So if it took me weeks to paint them. Might hit it with a highlight of white also. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and just use paint the top there. I'll hit these spikes. I could do them all at the same time. I'm just assuming those are done. It could have been block or whatever, but I think be careful there. These are probably like some kind of simian slate, so I probably won't be using bone for these. These are probably like think of what kind of sharp rock would go in there. So maybe it's like stone or something. I'm gonna go ahead and blacken those, I think, on that plug. Plenty of things to choose to throw at them for next week's live stream. Last week we did the giant spider Calidreth. I painted him up. I'll show you him in perspective. Norlock. He's huge in comparison. Unfortunately, they've discontinued this. Pretty sweet. And actually, this came hollow in the abdomen. You can see around here, right around there. I actually filled that in with epoxy putty and then sculpted that in. Yeah, it's not perfect, but what can I say? Here they're going to be making a bones version of this. And then for perspective, it's how big. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy big spider. That's on him right now also. He's I'm hoping to get 100 for him. Well, all the extra stuff that I did. I mean, it's $40 retail price on the package. And it's a discontinued item, you know, so maybe it'll work out. I think that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to make it kind of obsidian. Obsidian is really sharp. I could see them walking around in mountains and shit, so. I can definitely see him using obsidian. It's super sharp. Or at least some kind of flint. Yeah, I guess. At any rate, I'm just going to hit it with a light. Come up gray. Not working on anything because I didn't rinse the brush. I like rinsing the brush all the time. I want that red to get in there and make like a gray color. Ooh, way too much. Yeah, it'll come out as well. That's fine. You just gotta go with it and see what happens. What you don't want to do is just put a flat color down there. Remember, any surface that you have on a piece, you should put at least two layers on it, at least. That's not counting the base. We're getting there though. It's happening. think I have to hit this. Okay, just touch it back. Okay. What am I going to do about this fish? Silver. That's what I'm going to do about him. Fine. Nice dry brush there. Dry brush. Nice brush. Actually worked out pretty good. I'll probably hit that with a dark wash, most likely. I'll go ahead and use some aged bone to do some of the little tatting and stuff. I had to make some zombie flesh for the hands around his necks. Hit those with the aged bone. For some of you who aren't watching, I said, who aren't watching right now, I said, he will never paint that in 3 hours. Proving you wrong. That's what I do sometimes. I don't mean to. It's not like I woke up today and said, oh, I'm going to make something that people will be wrong about. I expect somebody to be able to finish something like this. I think I'm going to necrotize those hands a bit. There we go. We want that gray first, probably. And then we'll highlight this. Yeah, like that. That's what you want to do. So hit it with a mix of black and aged bone there. And then highlight with aged bone. It'll come out quite nice actually. It'll pale. Yeah. Alright. This guy is pretty much rare. There you go. Alright, let's do some dark washes. Oh, also, oh, I got plenty left. I want to paint this kneecap. There's so very little of that stuff left. That's okay. First round might actually be better highlights there anyways. There we go. He's got some chain on him also that has metal. Aged steel. Oh. Paint on my brush real quick. Yep. More water in my mixture. What was that other guys? Oh yeah, all these guys. All these guys. And the fish. He's just about ready. Just about. Now he's got that beer mug in there. I'll see that too. Oh! Almost there. Let's not slow it down. Let's speed it up. Just get this metal out of the way. There's some subtle detailing. Well, I'll have to wait for that to dry. Yeah. Yeah. We'll actually have some rusty paint used for rust, which all I can tell is just orange paint. It's from a certain known Reaper supplier. I'm sure you can figure it out. But I'm going to just add rust to these chains. That's all it's not quite. I'm not gonna paint no deer. He's not gonna have a painted deer thing on his belly, so I'm not gonna. Well, okay, maybe that's a little dark wash. Real quick. I mean, that looks pretty good. Well, there's only one thing left to do. guy's got fingernails. Let's see. Yeah, he does. And boom, fingernails. Got those. He's trim his toenails. Sometimes it just comes out way too orange. Okay. That's pretty much it. Done. I'm gonna go ahead and now there might be some little problem spots. I don't know what I'm doing. Little problem spots. I got a little fill in, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this base and a nice close up. I don't worry too much about the bases. I never have. A lot of it's going to get covered up by the flap anyway, so you know, I like to get some stuff under it also. Some color under the grass, basically. Alright. Let's get some of this out. I like to pulse it a little bit, make sure I'm not doing it. All right. I just put this right where I'm going to have grass. No, I'm not actually using this much. I'm just moving around with the tip, basically. A lot of people hate this process. Doesn't bother me any. I don't understand what the problem is. See this right here? Problem solved. There we go. And that's it, right there. So, get up on it. Up on it. Let's see how close we can get. And there it is. Nice. That didn't take too long. How long have we been broadcasting? Seems like forever. Well, thank you for joining me and Norok, my buddy Norok here. I will be doing more of these. Just in case. Looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw him up. 45 bucks. Enjoy. Bye.